Welcome. It is day 2. And those of you who are here, awesome. If you're watching the replay of this, I'm really glad you're here watching the replays and getting caught up. Remember, there are 3 sessions to this Do It Now program. It's not 6, that's just 3. And what we're going to be doing today is a little bit of a review of yesterday, and I'm going to ask you to type in some of the things you felt differently about after our sessions. And then we'll look at what we're going to do with self-sabotage today. So yeah, this is a day about finding the reasons why you're shut down. You know what it is consciously. You're aware of what the reasons are, right? But you don't know the real reasons, the ones that are down there somewhere or up here or wherever they are. And we want to get to the core reasons. It is often surprising. And I told you yesterday, you probably don't know what that reason is. Maybe some of you think, well, just something changed when my dad died. I just lost all my interest in accomplishing anything. Or you might think that's it, but there's something else that it triggered. And there's something that made it want to stop you from being motivated. So that's kind of the idea, is that it should be something that you're kind of like, oh, didn't realize that was it. To review with you a little bit, yesterday we were talking about the different feelings you have when you procrastinate, or you're shut down, or you look at a mess that you haven't dealt with, or you're looking at all those stacks of papers, or you're reminded of something that you have fallen behind on and you're afraid to go deal with it. Like when I told you yesterday about my tax situation from 25 years ago, and it was just so painful. Why would I want to get started on it when it was only a painful situation? I had to find a whole lot of numbers for like 2 years going back to catch up on my taxes. And every time I'd try to do that and get started, it just, oh boy, it was really painful. So I also shared with you how I got myself to just dive in and do it with joy. So remember from yesterday, we're talking about attaching the joy and the accomplishment to the process of doing what you don't want to do. No matter what the task is, or the project, or a big project, we still need to attach joy and accomplishment and pride in ourselves. And we need to love our little selves so that we won't be like saying bad things. Then also we talked about how you use your self-talk. And your self-talk is critically important. And all of you who know that that's really important, raise your hand. Yeah, all of you, huh? But how many of you have mastered the power of changing that self-talk when it comes up as just a stupid habit? How many of you just take a moment and go, oh yeah, that's not what I want, and that's not who I am. And then you change it into something that you do want. So the examples I was using yesterday of, like, I don't know, whatever it is that you do that's kind of silly, like you can't find your keys, you go like, oh God, I'm so dumb. Why do I do that? I keep losing my keys and I need to put them in the same place. God, I don't know if I'm ever going to get over this or whatever you're going to say. Hopefully it's not that long, but the point that you need to make with yourself is that, oh, it's okay. And then just feel it kind of floating away, that all those words are just kind of dissipating. Don't beat yourself up more because you had negative self-talk. Yeah? Yes, don't beat yourself up more. And then change it to something. So you're catching yourself going, oh God, I'm so stupid. And just go, oh no, wait, no, I'm not. I'm actually really smart. And then just smile and let your physiology change, let your emotional state change, and just feel that nice feeling of calm and content, right? That's so much better than telling yourself what a horrible person you are. Don't you agree? All right, so in the chat room, I want y'all to text or type or whatever we're doing here. Type in something you did differently yesterday after our meeting in our hypnosis session, something that changed for you, some awareness that you had, or maybe a task that you went and took care of. There was something that you just were like, I gotta do this right now. So yeah, type it in right now. Tell us what you changed. The other thing we talked about yesterday was the feelings of the emotions when you're having a messy house or office. There is a big toll that it's taking on you when you see messes everywhere. You subconsciously have judgments that you don't even know that you're making when you look around and you see the messes. It is good to be somewhat organized and not have your mind distracted by that. And it does happen subconsciously all the time. You go get in your car, and right now I'm envisioning getting in my SUV. There's so much sand in it, which is good and bad because I live in Hawaii now. But it's bad because there's so much sand in it and it's kind of dirty. And when I get in there, I'm like, oh. And you know how nice it is when your car is all clean and you get in there and you're like, wow, everything's so clean. It's just a state of mental health that's different. All right, Stephen Hill missed yesterday. Well, Stephen, there will be a replay link after we're done with day 3. We'll give you links to all 3 of them. And Barb says, I've been cleaning up papers, etc. all day. Awesome, awesome. Jason says, looking at the closet to get rid of things. Very nice. Jean Mars, I did the 3rd last task from yesterday's trance. Was great. Got it done. I reupholstered my bench. Whoa, right on, all of you. Keep typing your stuff in there. And then Regina says, cleaned up. Isn't it interesting how that session that we did yesterday was a very shortened version of the full session that's in the program, Do It Now. Even with a shortened session, your brain got it. And you want more of it. You want to have more of that feeling of just cleaning things up, putting them away, tidying up, throwing things away, getting the stacks of paper dealt with, and getting your project started. So now we're going to work on some more today, get you guys to be unstoppable. And if you do need to send me a direct message with anything that you're concerned about, I'll try to make sure I don't read it to the whole group. I think I did that yesterday. I'm sorry. All right. Self-sabotage. So we talked about why do we shut down? What makes us shut down? Your answers are that you're overwhelmed. Mostly that's what everyone feels that shuts them down. Some of you had other things that shut you down, but mostly just feeling overwhelmed. It's too much. And then tomorrow we're going to do the taking a big task that has too much to do, and that's why you're shut down. And we're going to learn to break it into pieces and have a big win after each piece and a great feeling after each piece, and feeling excited that you got it done. So that's how we're going to handle the big tasks. Clarence says, I also missed yesterday. I'm looking forward to cleaning up clutter tonight after this session. I can feel the energy of doing it now from hearing your stories. Yeah, it was just such a huge change in my life to take these really negative events that I was avoiding and just want to do them. I do need to do a bit of a refresher every now and then on some things. And then I just, sometimes like 5 minutes is all it takes, but I just got to get myself relaxed, get into that space where I go like, yeah, that's much better. Oh, and attach some joy to it. All righty. So self-sabotage. First thing I want you to do is think about what the one most important issue is. The thing that you feel the most pain about. Is it that you just don't want to clean your house or clean out your refrigerator or something that has to do with messes or too much stuff? Kind of identify what the main problem is. It because you don't want to work and you don't want to do anything creative and you don't want to have to dive into that project because there's things about it that are confusing and difficult, or you don't have any ideas on what to create? Or is it something else? What are the feelings that you have that have made you procrastinate and avoid doing what you're supposed to do? And I want you to identify that. You don't have to type it into the chat unless you want to, But we want to get you to have this feeling, and we're going to amplify this feeling so that we can know what it is. Once we know what it is, then we'll find out why it's there. This is an NLP process. My little computer glitched right there. It's an NLP process that is hugely powerful and just helps with so many things. You can use it for medical conditions, pain, things that you're struggling with, to find the positive intention behind a negative behavior. We're going to find 3 things that are fueling the problem you're having. And then we're going to find the part of you that's going to help you solve it and find a new way to get what you need. All right, everybody ready to get hypnotized? Ooh. All right, now just take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Let your body begin to relax. And as you're breathing, just notice that you can experience parts of you that have needs and issues. And perhaps you have some conflicts. And in that conflict, there is something that is working against the other parts of you. You have the best of intentions, but for some reason you're still stuck, and you're still shut down, or you're still living in a mess, or you're tired of just feeling emotionally drained for no good reason. Maybe you have a fear of success, and procrastinating is a way to not have to face that, because it could keep you from failing. If you put things off, you'll never have to find out if your project or your business venture failed or succeeded. Your positive intention could be just about anything. So right now, relax a little more, let your shoulders drop, let the muscles in your face relax, let your eyelids get nice and heavy, nice and heavy. Let that feeling of heaviness move down through your shoulders, down into your arms, your chest, your back. Let that feeling move into your hips and your legs. And then make sure that you are paying attention and aware of my voice and following my voice. If you find that your mind drifts a little bit, bring it right back to my voice and my words. Now, as your body is relaxing, put your thoughts on the thing that you don't like, the feeling you have that you don't like. Procrastinating, putting something off, getting behind, feeling overwhelmed. Everything seems to be a mess. Just pick the one thing that feels the most true for you. Find out what it is as a feeling and let it get a little bigger and a little more real. You don't have to push it down now. You just want to let it get more real. And feel it in your body and notice where you store it in your body. Where does that feeling rest? Is it in your head or your chest? Or is it in your stomach area? Is it in your shoulders? Notice if that place where that feeling is stored has a color or a shape. And if it does, just notice what color or what shape it is. And let that feeling get even more real now. Just notice that that part of you that stores that feeling has been living with this. And it is stopping you from getting things done. Sometimes the way it stops you is by making you feel completely overwhelmed. Sometimes the way it stops you is to distract you so you can go do something more pleasant and more fun. Now notice that part, where it is in your body, and notice that it actually wants something fun or happy. It wants something for you. The only way it knows how to get what it needs is by making you neglect your work or neglect your housework. The only way it knows how to get what it wants is to stop you from doing the things that it feels are painful. Now I want you to go to that part and silently ask that part, what do you want? And you're going to wait, and when it answers, you're going to just remember whatever it is it says that it wants. It wants something positive. Remember, it's trying to help you. What do you want? And just take a moment to wait for the answer. What do you want? And then when it answers, tell the part, thank you. Thank you. And make a mental note of what it said. Now ask that part even deeper, what do you want? Even deeper, what do you want? And let that part tell you, let it be honest with you. Even deeper, what do you want? Good. And make a mental note of that. And now ask that part, why do you want that? Why do you want that? And let the part answer. Don't try to figure it out. Why do you want that? And say thank you to the part. Make a note of what that part said and what it wanted even deeper, and why it wanted that. Good. Now I want you to thank that part for sharing the information. You and this part previously have been having a conflict, and maybe even fighting and trying so hard that makes the part try even harder to help you in the only way that it knows how right now. So be a friend with that part and thank it for what it is doing for you. Take a deep breath. Let the energy come back into your body. And then when you're ready, just open your eyes and take another deep breath. Now, I want you to write down what that part said. You can type it into the chat if you want and share it with all of us. And then we're going to take a look at some of the things that the part is doing and how it's trying to help you. The part was trying to help you in a way that it felt was positive. So write it down so you remember it. What do you want? Even deeper, what do you want? And why do you want that? And that example that I used yesterday from the time when I was so poor, and I asked the part, why do you need me to be poor? Because it just felt like it was just doing that all the time. Everything didn't work. And it said, I need you to be pitiful. Now, the odd thing about that was that there is no part of me that I would have consciously thought had an agenda to be pitiful. So it wasn't something I was creating out of my conscious thoughts. And I said, thank you. And I said, what else do you need? Even deeper. And the part said, I need you to be more pitiful. And that brought tears flowing because that is not me. However, it is on some level. And then I asked it, why do you want that? And the part said, because then you'll be rescued. This part felt that my life wasn't bad enough because no one was rescuing me or helping me. And that part figured out, you got to get worse. And then somebody will rescue you. Oh my God. Woo. So anyway, that's how it works. And that did shift everything for me about the wealth issues and being, worthy, unworthy, all those things. All right. Jason Russell, it said to me that it wanted to take care of me. So what else, Jason? Did you have more than just the one answer? Because I'd like to find something deeper in that it wanted to take care of you. You could ask the part, why do you need to shut me down to take care of me? Because you want to look for that positive intention for the negative behavior. And that's a start right there. Linda Creer said, keep up with work. So I'm not sure if that answer was to the parts therapy. Oh, okay. This is good. So Jason also says, it said it loved me and wanted to keep me safe. Now that's a really good answer from it, because it's keeping you safe by, why did, what I asked the last question was, why do you want that? So when you ask, why do you want to keep me safe? Is it keeping you safe from failing, from making mistakes, from doing something that you're really scared of? Or why does it want to keep you safe? And Bruce said, lack of stress, escape from anxiety. So that part is trying to help you, and that is a positive thing it's doing. It's trying to keep you from being stressed and to keep you from not having anxiety, or keep you from having anxiety. We can't have double negatives. Regina says a part wants to be accepted. What else did it say, Regina? So Jason says, I think scared of. Makes sense. Jean says to feel safe, to stop being afraid, and why it wants it is to be liked. Does that make sense for you, Jean? Oh, I'm sorry. You sent that to me as a direct message and I read it to everybody. Oh, sorry about that. Regina says that it wants to be loved. Okay, well, now we want to find out how we can find a different way for that part to get what it wants. Let me see. What is to Claren? The part said it would like to feel loved. Why? Because then it would feel safe and secure and stable, so that I cannot feel anxious, fearful, and alone. Wow. And the way that it's trying to help you to feel stable and secure and safe is by preventing you from doing the things that you want to do, from taking on any projects or looking for a different job or position or whatever it is that it's keeping you from doing. Wow. Mark says to depart from sadness. Yeah, that part of you is trying to keep you from being sad. And it makes sense to all of you who are typing this in. You know personally what that part is talking about, because it's probably something that's really familiar to you, or it could be a surprise. Like for mine, the one that said, I need you to be more pitiful, it was a surprise. And I was kind of thinking, no, that's not right. But it was on some level. We can't overcome those things that are happening in our subconscious mind by simply wanting to will them away. It just doesn't work that way. We need to get down into where and why and what the behavior is and what purpose it's serving, what positive intention. Yeah, and someone says fear of success. Yeah, the fear of success is a big one. And we're going to do the future self session today as well. And in the future self session, it may help you quite a bit to not be afraid of the future success, fear of success, the things that come with it, and the things that might challenge you, the thing that might make you feel afraid. What if one of your things that you need to do is be a better speaker and you have to get up on stage or in front of groups and do presentations, or you want to give workshops? But there is a part of you that knows it's a big fear that people have. Oh my God. So that part doesn't want you to have to feel that. And if you don't get started on your project and you don't actually have a workshop or do a presentation to a company or whatever you need to do, then you won't have to face that fear. Yeah, Jean says it's preventing me from doing what I want to do and what I need to do for business. All right, so now we're going to have a little talk with that part. So go ahead and close your eyes again. Take a deep breath. Let your body melt down a bit and just go to the place inside of yourself where you really do want to know the truth. You want that part to be honest with you. You do want to find a solution. And just as you relax, remember that part that's right there in that place in your body. And connect with that part. Remember the color and the shape of it. And acknowledge that part. Again, say thank you to that part. Thank you for telling me honestly what you need and why you need that. Now go to that part and ask it, is there one more thing that you want me to know about why you shut me down? Why you stop me from moving forward? Is there one more thing that you want me to know? And then just notice the answer and say thank you. Now I want you to let that part just be as vulnerable and honest as it can be. And ask the part this. What do you need for me to do for you to let go of that fear or those feelings that were shutting me down? What do you need for me to do? And make a note of that answer. And then ask that part, what is the first thing that you'd like me to do to help let go of that? What is the first thing that you'd like me to do to let go of that? And if you're not clear on the answer it gave you, ask more questions. Just ask again. Say, how do you want me to do that? Now, create an agreement with the part. We need to be clear on what the answer is that that part wants you to do, what it wants you to do. We need to be really clear on that. So if you need some more clarity right now, take a moment to make sure that the part has expressed what it wants you to do to let go of the issue or the conflict. Now you're going to ask that part, if I do that, will you be able to let go of that conflict to support me and help me? If I agree to do what you asked, will you let go of that struggle or that fear and support me? And then say thank you to that part again. Give that part a lot of love, because this is a valid part of you. It's been trying to help you, to keep you safe, because it loves you. So say thank you and really send some love to that part. Now we're going to create one more agreement with that part. If there is anything that it needs to communicate to you, that you will be willing to listen and understand, and allow that part to help you. Good. Now take a deep breath and send a lot of love to that part right now. Take another deep breath. Let your eyes open and then write down or type in the chat, either one, what that part needs you to do or what it needs from you. And what is it that that part agreed to do? We're hoping the part agreed, because that's why we're here. So that part of you agreed that if you did something a certain way, like the thing that it said, what's the first thing you need me to do? What else do you need me to do? So those things. And then hopefully the part agreed that if you do those things, it can let go of the fear or holding you back or feeling stuck or shutting you down. And Jean's typing, it's preventing me from doing what I want to do and what I need to do for business. Yeah, and I'll be curious to see the answers and the agreement that you got with a part. So type in your agreements or write them down with a pen on a piece of paper. There is something to the kinesthetic aspect of writing something on a piece of paper. There really is something therapeutic about the process. And I don't remember what it is, but I know I read it somewhere. So there you go. While you guys are doing your writing, I want to remind you that on the page at wendy.com, there is the Do It Now program. What I added to that just for these 3 days is the Creative Genius program, which is another $50 value. The Creative Genius program is to help you find all kinds of sources of creativity to solve problems, to come up with ideas, to think beyond what you're thinking, to find a new way to market yourself perhaps, or if there's something you're stuck on and it just doesn't feel right, get the creativity flowing so that you can take a little different direction or just open up some new ideas. It's a great program. And then also I put in there, what was that other one? Oh, the Mover and Shaker. So the Mover and Shaker is a short session. It's about 15 minutes. You could start your day with the Mover and Shaker and really get yourself just so pumped up so that you have something that's like other than dread. Although after we're done, you're not going to have the dread anymore. It's going to be going away. And I'm really familiar with that feeling of being stuck or overwhelmed. And it is a bit of a downward spiral, and you want to stop it before it gets very far. Like things happen in our life, really shitty things happen sometimes. And then it triggers us to feel sad or hopeless or frustrated. And that, when we have those kinds of emotions open up in our brain keeps sending those neural pathways to find similar memory states, similar emotional memories. So all of a sudden your brain is opening up, frustration, bing, 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 sadness, boom, boom. I remember when I was 5 years old, I felt really sad. So think about that. Your brain just keeps like connecting the dots to all the other emotional memories and opening those up and firing them. So you don't want to do that. When you notice those feelings of feeling like, I think I'm spiraling downward now, you got to stop and do something. You've got to listen to some hypnosis sessions of mine because they work really well. You have to do something different with how you start your day when you wake up in the morning. And if you do need a boost, I have a program called Wake Up Happy that has 8 different topics in it. So each day you can choose a different Wake Up Happy session. So what if you chose the Wake Up Happy session that's for worthiness of wealth? And you start your morning with 15 minutes of me talking to your body and your subconscious mind while you're still like so in the like la la land and talking about that worthiness of wealth and how you do gratefully accept it and bring it into your life and you manifest all the good things that you want. All right, let me see what's going on in the thing, in the stuff. Let's see, okay. The part said that it would like to feel loved. Why? Because then it would feel safe and secure and stable. Oh, so that was a previous one. Let's see. My purple amoeba ghosted me in the second half. No answers or response. Huh. Well, isn't that interesting? That's so strange. Okay, so now what are the agreements that you all made? What are the agreements? Because we want to make sure that you're going to participate in these agreements. So this one, I'm not going to mention the name, but the only word that comes through is enjoy life. Well, that's not a simple thing. That's actually really huge. So even though you're saying it's the only word that comes through is enjoy life, that is a really big one. Your part feels that you're not enjoying life and that if you were to take on the projects or the tasks that you need to be doing, you're not going to be enjoying life. And it also says something, I'm not doing very well. I'm not sure how to do it. Is it a phobia? I don't think it's a phobia. I think it's more like, depending on how old you are, you know, life can wear you down. Oh, sorry. But it's true. And it's up to us to keep a certain mental attitude to not slide down into that space of being worn down or shut down. When the part says enjoy life, you could ask that part, what is the one thing in enjoying life that you want me to do the most? What is it that would bring that enjoyment the fastest, the easiest? Because you don't know what it is. If you knew what it is, you wouldn't have this problem. So the challenge would be for you to, again, after we're done today, to go back to that part and ask it, what is the most important thing that you want me to do to enjoy life? Make sense? I let it be a suggestion to allow more time to answer, maybe in a thought that comes to the surface or a realization. Yeah, so when you do another session afterwards today and you talk to that part, just let it open up. Maybe that part feels like, oh, well, we're sitting here with all these people, so I'm not sure I want to tell you all these things just yet. Man, someone says stay present, let go of fear. Yeah. So remember, if you want your answers to go to the entire group, you just have to click the little thing that somewhere in there that says either private or to the entire group. Okay. If that part told you that one most important thing and it made the agreement with you that if you do this particular thing, it's not going to shut you down anymore, that's all we need to have happen in order to release either the conflict or the fuel that that part had to try and protect you, keep you safe, make you not have to face any fear. All right. So now, is that part. So remember, the part that is holding you back has a positive intention, and your job is to find that positive intention and find the agreement with the part. So if you're taking notes, find the positive intention, even though it's a negative behavior. Find out why the part wants it and ask it what it needs to let that go. Now, there is a second aspect to doing parts therapy, and that is to find a very creative part of you. And the creative part of you is going to come up with some solutions and ideas for you to get unstuck. Now you're going to close your eyes again and take some more breaths. Let's see what else is on this chat. Yeah, Clarence says, I'm still resisting agreements with the part so that I can have a reason to keep procrastinating. Well, we're going to keep working on it. Don't get discouraged because that part has never maybe been able to trust you or hasn't had that kind of wisdom shared with you. The parts of us, they have all different agendas and we need to give them some time. Oh, Jean says, I love the Wake Up Happy series. I lost when someone stole my iPod. I can recreate that for you and put it into your account at wendy.com. So if you want to remind me, like send me an email later after we're done, and then I will put it in your account since you had it at one point. And then you will have it again. Because it is really good. It's amazing. When I, oh my God, when I made that program and I made the one that was for gratitude, I was like in tears. I'm listening to it with my headphones on, and it's like my voice is talking to me, and it was waking up happy with gratitude. And that one was going out and spreading that gratitude into the world and sharing it with people, and how different you see the world and how different the world sees you, because you are just taking on gratitude for the day and making it the thing that runs your day. The combination of all these things will get you unstuck. Doing the parts therapy, using Wake Up Happy, getting the Do It Now program, it's a very small price to pay to be able to make these changes and know that you're not going to have to overeat if that's something you do to distract yourself, or that part figures, the more I eat, I feel pretty good. I get some endorphins flowing. So and drinking, maybe you're drinking too much alcohol and you're getting at least some endorphins and some dopamine. And the part says, okay, well, that feels pretty good. But we want you to get the good feelings in a different way, for sure. All righty. Next is your future self. So write down or type that your future self is a do-it-now person. No matter what you don't have to write all this down, but just write down, first of all, that your future self is a do-it-now person. We're going to pick 3 things that you do really, really well in your future self. Because your future self no longer procrastinates or puts things off. Whenever things get a little messy, your future self is just on it and gets things done. Keeps that good state of mental health. So what are 3 things that your future self is very good at? Is it about sticking to a schedule, or being creative, or taking chances, or doing something that scares you because you know that it's good for you, like getting up on stage and speaking, or holding Zoom meetings with clients, or getting your book finished? So pick 3 things that your future self does very well. Is it eating better, eating healthier? Because then you'll have more brain health and your body will feel better, and you'll lose some weight if you're overweight. Then when you look in the mirror and you say, hey, that one in the mirror there, pretty good. So what are the 3 things that we're going to have your future self do? Regina says, my future self will be more productive. Stop being late, be more creative, and be more physically active. So now I just noticed that you do have a negative in there. All of you that are writing the 3 things that your future self is going to really be fantastic at, let's change it to something positive. So what would you say instead of stop being late? What would you change that to that is a positive thing? I wonder how many of you, as you were procrastinators and you no longer are, I wonder how many of you are late a lot because of your procrastinating or trying to put things off. Then the last minute you're like, oh my gosh, I got to do this. I've got to get to this meeting, or I've got to go, I don't know, do whatever. I wonder how many of you are late consistently, if that's something that's a particular habit that you have. So what you want to notice is that you're going to be on time. I have a hypnosis session that's called Be On Time. It's just one little session. But it has you be early. It says, I feel so good when I'm early and I have a little extra time where I'm going to my appointment or for whoever I'm meeting. I really like the freedom of getting things done before the deadline. And then like you're on time with all sorts of things. And when I made that session, I started being early for a lot of things. And it's really a nice feeling. And you have extra time. So then you fiddle around with your phone and you play a video game. Now you catch up on email and you do some things that are important. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Pauline is going to call a friend once a week to get some social interaction. Write a children's book. Yay, lose weight so I feel sexier. That's wonderful. My future self is organized, eating healthier, exercising. I have lots more energy. I'm enjoying cleaning and I love to clear up the clutter. All right, so let's go meet your future self. Let's see what else we have from messages. Thomas, Claren, my future self is organized, eating healthier. I already did that one. And then this one is figure out how to eat right. Get my A1C down to 6.8. What are the other things that you're going to do in addition to that? Like if you didn't include some things that are going to make you feel a little more freedom or a little more success, a little more clarity or creativity, or something that's motivating you, add those things in there. Because when we go to meet your future self, we want you to have a full experience of the things that are important. I am going to suggest many things to your future self that can be experienced as we now go into trance. Did you feel your body relaxing already? And just notice now that your eyes are beginning to get heavy and closing. And you love this feeling of going inside. It feels like a nice quiet space. And you go there to learn and to grow and to change. And it's becoming so easy to really love this experience. Now you're going to experience something that's bigger and more beautiful than you ever thought it could be. So now in your relaxed state, as your shoulders drop, your arms become heavy and loose and limp and relaxed. Just let your mind float and drift and take a trip into the future. Now, maybe for you, it feels like you're floating slowly through the days and the weeks and the months. Maybe you're walking on a beautiful path in nature. Maybe you're flying with your arms out, flying through the days or the weeks or the months. Let yourself go all the way into the future until you are 1 year in the future. And now if you're floating or flying, let yourself touch down so that your feet are firmly planted 1 year in the future. Good, just take a breath and feel it. Something's shifted, something changed, and you can feel it now. Right in front of you, face to face, standing there right in front of you is you 1 year in the future. And notice the person that you are 1 year in the future. Just look in those eyes. See how bright and shiny those eyes are. The happiness in that face. Notice the body of your future self. Now, as you're looking at your future self, you notice that 1 year ago, you were struggling with some things, putting things off, feeling stuck and shut down. But now that you look in the face of your future self, you feel relaxed and relieved, and you can see that your future self loves getting things done, completing some projects in small chunks. And your future self has been doing this for an entire year and loving it. You notice that your future self is organized. You're confident. You're creating all the things for the work that you do. For some of you, your future self wrote a book, and people love that book. Your future self has been eating well, and your future self knows that eating healthy foods has made your brain feel really good and alive and creative. Your future self has been able to keep things neat and tidy. No more clutter. Neat and tidy. You're more creative and more active. Now go behind that future self. Just move yourself all the way to where you're behind that future self and step into that body and that mind, that heart and soul. Step inside of that future self so you're seeing through those eyes. You're hearing with those ears. You're thinking with that brain, and feel that energy. Notice that creativity and how you actually feel like you've been freed up for an entire year to think more clearly and be more organized and be excited every morning about getting on your projects, feeling the joy and excitement of completing sections of your projects, enjoying the cleanup session in your house or your office, where you just put things away and just think about such random things while you're cleaning up and tidying up. And inside of this future self, body and mind and heart and soul, I want you to let yourself absorb the experience of feeling freedom. Freedom from the way you used to be a year ago. No more struggle. That's gone. You have life and you enjoy life and you feel that clarity now. It seems easy. In fact, inside of this body of your future self, you feel unstoppable. You feel like there's nothing that could get in your way because you have the energy and the resources and the love for the kind of work you're doing, the love for how you keep your surroundings. You even enjoy being early when you go places so that you have your mental ability to think clearly and you feel calm and at peace. All right. So now step back out of your future self. Just step back out. Your inner mind has absorbed all the qualities, the feelings, the strengths, and the freedom of your future self. Some of the things you are aware of now on a conscious level, some of them you will be aware of later today and every day from now on. Go in front of your future self so you're again face to face, eye to eye, standing there, and thank your future self for giving you these new insights and these feelings and this drive and enthusiasm. And look in the eyes of your future self and ask, what was the biggest breakthrough that you experienced in the year? What was that biggest breakthrough? And let your future self tell you. What was that biggest breakthrough? And then ask your future self, what was the one thing that gave you the most motivation and energy and love for what you're doing? What was that one thing that gave you the most energy, motivation, and love for what you're doing? Good. And just put your hands out and let your future self put their hands right in your palms. And just look in those eyes and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I am so proud to be you and to experience what you have accomplished in this year. Nothing's going to stop me. I want this feeling and I deserve to have this feeling. And then float right up above that moment. Just float up lighter and lighter and lighter. Float up all the way above that moment. And begin to slowly float back toward this present moment while your inner mind is absorbing all the experiences you just had, readjusting how your brain thought about doing things, loving the feeling that you now have. That's to love getting things done, that you love to do it now. You love to do it now. You love to do it now. And as you're floating back slowly towards this present moment, you realize that there is something inside of you that's bubbling up. There's ideas and desire and excitement. You do want this. You're not letting another day go by without experiencing this. You start your morning in a way that gives you clarity and focus. It gets you so jazzed up for what you're about to do today. You make some small goals for the day, you accomplish them, you knock them right out of the park. You love the feeling of do it now, do it now, do it now. Whether it's a work-related task, a creative project, something that's a little difficult, or tidying up your environment and cleaning something up. Do it now. Do it now. Feels so good. It feels so good when you hear those words, do it now. You have all that energy of what you felt in your future self and even more. So come all the way back to this moment, present moment right now. Come all the way back and send a wave of gratitude for what you've experienced, who you are, and what you just created. Unstoppable you. Do it now. Send a wave of gratitude from the top of your head all the way down through your body. Feel it internally and externally. Feel it when you take a breath right now. Wave of gratitude for who you are and what you're creating. You know there is something bigger and more beautiful that you're going to create. It may be something that helps a lot of people. And as a result, it may be something that brings you great wealth or a comfortable income. It may be something that launches you into even different projects and into new and unexpected places in your life. So another wave of gratitude from the top of your head all the way down through your body, running down through your spine, into your hips, your legs, all the way down into your feet, and into the tips of your toes. Yes. And take a deep breath. When I count to 5, then you can open your eyes. Bring all that energy back. Ready? 1, bring that energy into your body and your brain. And 2, feel it flowing through you. Oh, the do it now is flowing through your body. And 3, feeling balanced and at peace and excited. And 4, your eyes will feel cool and refreshed, as if they've been bathed in clear spring water. And 5, wide awake, clear-headed, and refreshed. Take a nice deep breath. Yes, nice deep breath. And open your eyes when you're ready. So now, you learned something from your, I was going to say your super self. Maybe it is your super self. It's your future self, but it's also you right now. So it's no longer really your future self. It is what your future self has accomplished as a result of the things you now embody in your experience. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you experienced, or not hear. I want to read what you experienced in the chat. Like, what did you notice about your future self when you stepped into it, into that body and that mind? How different was it? What did your future self tell you, or what did you agree to? What was your future self doing that gave him or her so much satisfaction? Yes, let me read a little bit. Bruce Dovner. Getting current tasks done in advance. I don't think this is about his future self yet. Writing academic papers for publication, develop commodities trading plan, develop business enterprise plan, make choices regarding direction of what can actually be done. And Thomas says, energetic and healthy and happy. Very good. Keep typing. So remember, when you buy the Do It Now, you get the entire Creative Genius program, which has several sessions. I'm going to tell you what has happened for me as a result of the Creative Genius program. I developed a process that was kind of accidental. I was working with market makers in San Francisco every week. After the markets closed, they would come up to the office and I would do hypnosis with them, the whole group. They worked in the pits where they don't have pits anymore, but they'd go down in the pits and they'd spend their day there. And there would be like a broker that comes to the front of the pit and everybody's yelling and screaming. It's very stressful. I was down there watching and I was like, oh my God, you guys are crazy. But they're yelling and screaming, having to decide if they need to make a bid or an offer or buy or sell, right? What that decision is based on is there's TV monitors all around. They have to find these numbers. There's columns of numbers. I have no idea what they are for. And there's some numbers here and some numbers here. They have to find the difference between two unlike fractions as fast as they can. So in order to do that, they have to go like, okay, 7 9/16 and 2 1/4. Now they have to instantly come up with a difference because that has something to do with what they're going to risk to do their buy or sell offer. So in the office, they said, we need to speed it up. I need to know that my answer is correct. So I built them a machine in their brain. And this is part of this Creative Genius program that just got me thinking about, maybe we don't have to do everything consciously. So I had them all close their eyes and I would read two unlike fractions that I had written on the board that their eyes are closed. And I said, the machine in your brain is going to have those two numbers next to each other. And then below it is a circle where the answer is going to appear. It's like a field that whatever color circle you have, that's where the answer is going to appear. So I would read 2 1/8 and 9 5/16. And then they would tell the answer that came up in their circle. So we did this with probably 15 different calculations. When we were done, I asked one of them to check the answers to see if they're correct. Interesting thing was that he was having trouble getting the difference by doing it consciously. It was very difficult for him to do it consciously. It's like, it's taking time and stuff. However, all of his answers were correct. The ones he got by doing it, having that field come up where the answer comes up. Now, what I want you to know is your brain is infinitely more powerful and more creative and able to come up with things, if it's creative ideas or it's solutions to a problem or it's doing this math to make you faster when you're in the pits, to make that buy or sell offer so that you make more money. All of the traders had accurate answers, but it was very hard for them to calculate them when they're going over them with their conscious mind. Is that interesting? Oh my gosh. So in the creativity session, there's things you can do to make that happen. I also made a spelling machine, and I've made it for adults and kids, but it's really fun to use with the kids. They build this imaginary machine in their brain, and then the machine memorizes the correct spelling of words when they're reading or the teacher's writing something on the board. Every word is just stored in there, and their machine already knows how to spell every word correctly. So basically, we're getting the brain to take a picture of that word. The way that we read a word and know what it is by the shape of the word. We don't read the letters and put them together and say that word is sabotage. We just look at it and our brain has stored it. So when I do it for these kids, I tell them a word and I would say like finger, and that word is going to go into the machine, and they're telling me what the machine looks like and all the buttons and knobs and things. And then that word's going to come out the other side with all the letters in the right order, and they read it to me and they would say Finger. And no matter what word it is, it always came out correct, even though these kids were bad spellers and they had a lot of trouble with spelling. And then when they get stressed about spelling, then their brain is misfiring and it's not able to spell because it's full of stress and anger and fear and feeling stupid and all those things. So with their spelling machine, all they have to do is look at the word that's spit out. And it was interesting with one of the young girls I was working with. She was Black, and this has to do with what we were working on. I had given her a whole bunch of words that I'd put in, and then for some reason I decided to put in the word Africa, and it goes into her machine and it came out. And she says, I said, well, tell me what it says. She says, well, I don't know. I don't think it's right. It's like all the letters are red, but one of them is blue. I said, well, read it to me. What do you see? It says Africka. That doesn't look right. And the K is blue. It's a different color than the rest of the letters. So in her experience, since she was an African-American girl, she has probably seen that Africa has been spelled with a K from long ago or in some cultures. And so that's why her brain made that K a different color. Isn't that amazing? I love that. Okay, I need you to tell me more about your future self and what you experienced when you got in there. So I want to make sure you all are writing it down. We're going to wrap this up. The Creative Genius program is going to do so many things for you on so many levels to keep your juices flowing. And it is free with the Do It Now program. You go to Wendy.com with an I, WENDI.com. Go to all courses. There's a little link on top that says all courses, and then you will see Do It Now Live. And that is the one that has the bundle of all the creativity sessions, the Do It Now program, the entire one, and the Mover and Shaker. And it's $117 value for $49. Yep. So you go get that, and you can then work on, like if you didn't get the right feeling from your future self, you can do that session as a recorded session. If you didn't quite get the Do It Now that we were working on yesterday, which was to really get you to kind of obsess a little bit about getting things done and cleaning up, that's in there. If you need the throw it away or put it away, if you're kind of a bit hoardish, that's in there as well. And I think I told you on day one about this man who got the Do It Now program for his mother, who he has to go pick her up at her house to take her to doctor's appointments. And she's never ready, and she's always running late, and her house is a total mess. So he gets up for her, and she listens to the sessions that are for putting stuff away, cleaning up, and having your environment all nice and neat. And he says, now when I go to pick her up, sometimes she still is a little bit late because she's having to make sure every countertop is perfectly cleaned and everything is put away in the exact right place. And she's there just polishing up the countertops, and I'm going, come on, Mom, it's clean. And her house is clean. It's really it's a cool thing to just have it be such a natural thing, and you really enjoy it, and you feel that happiness that it brings you instead of dread and anger and self-loathing. So, oh, we have lots of people today. Wow, this is so cool. Brenda, Catherine, Brenda, Jason, Mark, Bruce, Arturo, Ann, Kathy, Jean, Regina, Barb, Stephen, Leslie, and Claren. I like the sound of that name, Claren. It's really cool. Pauline, I didn't see your name in here. Stephen, I'm sorry. All right, well, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to get back together tomorrow. We were going to do Future You tomorrow, but we just did it. So tomorrow we're going to work on clutter, the big task strategy for breaking things down into manageable chunks, but also getting you to have the big win with each one so that you'll be really driven. And then putting stuff away as well. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Chan in the air. And that, oh, right on. High five. All right, any other questions before I go? We can do a little Q&A. or an Ask Me Anything, an AMA. Stephen Hill says, I missed yesterday. Well, there will be a replay of it, but it'll be after the third session tomorrow. I could email you a link to the replay, I think. If you want to send me an email to wendyhelp@gmail.com, but spell it with an I, so it looks like this, at gmail.com. Did I get it right? I think so. Okay, there you go. Oh, what? I sent that as a direct message? What silly me. Why do you want to go to everyone? Come on, go to everyone. You do that again. Hold on just 1 second. Here we go. We got that. Now we're going to type it to everybody. All right. So you could send me an email. And even if you just want to share some of the things you experienced today, or you have questions about like, why won't my part talk to me? Or whatever the thing is, I'm happy to help you out with that. Okay, and if you want day one, I will give you the link because I'm pretty sure I have the Zoom link that lets you watch day one. So you'll want to do that. Okay, so we'll try that. All right, everybody, give yourself a big round of applause. Y'all are awesome. High five, high 10, yay. Clarence says, thank you, Wendy, and everyone here. Gratitude for all the hypnosis journeys. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Where is the program listed? Whoops. Okay, so Regina, send me an email and I'll give you a link that's for the other things in the course and where you can get them. Where's the program listed to purchase? Jason, go to wendy.com and you spell it with an I. And when you go to wendy.com, you will see, hang on, I'm so multitasking here. You will see on that page on the upper left, it says all courses. When you click that, you'll see Do It Now Live, and that is the program with all the bonuses. So just that one's the first one on there, so it's right in your face. In your face. Yeah. Okay, any other questions that any of you have? And there's a new message. Oh, it says, thank you. You are welcome, Jason. Yeah, I love doing this with all of you. I don't do the full-length session when we're doing it on Zoom because the full-length sessions are usually about 30 minutes. So in the recorded session, if you were to go into that future and meet your future self, there's a lot more that you're experiencing with your future self. I make this shorter just because I'm not sure if everyone's, in trance, if they're doing something else, or I don't want you to nod off either. Had that happen on Zoom where someone just kind of loses it, and I can't reach out and shake you and make you wake back up. Anyway, so the longer sessions are in the Do It Now program, and they're probably more like full and expansive, not expensive, but expansive. So you can expand your brain, your experience. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Remember, send me an email if you want the link to the first class. I'll send it to you today. Go to wendy.com and you will see Do It Now Live and grab that so you can make some progress. And spend your day in gratitude today. Grateful for what you're doing for yourself and what you're creating in yourself. Just every minute of the day, be so grateful that you're taking action to change something. All right, I'm going to let all of you go. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time, okay? Bye-bye. You have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.